Hey, creative friends. Welcome back to Zen and Creativity YouTube channel, your daily source for artistic inspiration during Inktober Tangles 2023. I'm Yehudit Steinberg, your Certified Zentangle Teacher, and I am totally excited to be here with you again today for day 11. If you're finding value in these videos, tutorials, please remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a new episode. I have so many great tutorials planned starting in November, the beginner series. So stay tuned. And if you're liking us during Inktober, we deliver a new video a day with a tangle a day during the month of October. If this is your first time here, check out the intro video. The link is in the description. It has the beginner's guide information and how to come to our live Sunday Zoom meetings. We're having a great time. We cater to beginners here, so there's no question too dumb to ask. Feel free to drop your questions in the comments, and I'll do my best to assist you. And don't forget to consider joining our live meetups on Sundays. It's a fantastic way to connect with other fellow artists and to ask your questions and get clear on where you're at. But before we dive into today's tangle, let's take a moment to review the fantastic patterns that we've explored over the past few days. On day 8, we ventured into bars, and followed by ballerine on day 9, and then builds on day 10. It's been an incredible journey of creativity, and I'm thrilled to have you all with me. And the links to these previous videos, if you haven't seen them yet, then check them out after you watch this one. Let's explore today's pattern, Dark Busters, by Diana Marshall. This is a relatively easy pattern, so if you are a total beginner, this should be a lot of fun and a lot of what we call Zen focus when we create these patterns. If you have learned the first pattern we teach in Zentangle method is Crescent Moon, this is a little reminiscent of Crescent Moon with embellishments and variations. So here we are in the studio, and I have the step out for Dark Busters. Its category is orbs. Orbs are these circular shapes, and this is where we're going with it. We're going to put a group of these Dark Busters together, and I have my supplies that I usually use on most of these with most of these patterns during Inktober. So I have my graphite that I like to sketch with in the beginning. I have an 01, a micron 01. I have an 08 for any inking that I'm going to be doing. I have a graphite pencil. I have a blending tool, and I have here, well, that's what we're going to use for this specific pattern. As I do with every new tangle a day, is I have the step out, and now's the time to take the screenshot. Get your screenshot of this tangle, and you can keep it for your records. Some of the students are doing this daily, and by the end of 31 days, you'll have 31 different patterns with the step out, the way to put it together step by step. Don't forget in our beginner's guide, we have a step out template that you can draw these step outs and create, put it in a notebook. It's 8.5 by 11. Put it in a notebook, and you'll have a series of them. As I mentioned in most of the videos, I encourage you to draw the step out because you're going to learn how the nature of the pattern by drawing the step outs. There are no more than 6 steps. And after you have drawn the pattern for 6 times, a piece of the pattern, step by step, you're going to understand this pattern. I think it's really a good practice. We also have a mandala template, and I'll be showing you later in the video what I've done with this mandala template so far this year. Some of the students there's a space for a tangle a day, 31 days. And you can get this in the beginner's guide. The link is in the description. So now I'm sure you've gotten your screenshot, and I want to get started drawing. This, like I said, this is a beginner tangle, a relatively easy tangle to learn. Not all of the tangle patterns in Inktober are meant for beginners, and we do our best here to break them down. This particular pattern, I think for beginners, you should be able to get it. If you have questions, though, put it in the comments. Join our Sunday group by going to the link in the description and then going over to Eventbrite and getting signed up and come to the live session. That has been really helpful for a number of people. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with number 1, and I'm going to draw a couple of different orb shapes. I'm going to start with the main one. Nice large one in the center. They don't need to be perfect. This is not perfect Zen. Now I'm going to add another one, and as we've learned in some of our beginner lessons, we can do what we call behind. So I can imagine that this is sitting behind. I can come and draw another one. And just randomly putting circle orbs around this major one. Okay. So that's step 1. In step 2, we're going to come in and we're going to draw a circle on the bottom of these. And I'm going to change some of the different areas that I put them actually. Just have fun. One of the things about Zentangle is that it does have a sense of mystery. We don't really know what it's going to look like at the end, but it's going to come out. Now let's go to step 3. We're going to draw this little crescent moon right here, and some curved lines inside that circle. And that can also be changed as well. But I'm going to start on the main one, and I'm going to put it at the top. And then I turn my tile, so I'm going to make some aura shapes here. This is like crescent moon, if you know crescent moon. Then I'm going to come over here, give this guy a little. I wonder what would happen if I put this here. So we're going to play with this in the positioning just to see what happens. Upside down. Those nice curved auras. Take your time. Breathe. You know, Zentangle method can be a meditation. In fact, that's really what I like it for. I was never, although I do and have done meditation, just a sitting meditation, I prefer to have some sort of focused activity that allows me to get really focused and present. And that's what I find is when I do the Zentangle method, that's what I find has happened for me. So I'm actually going to turn this back. So sometimes what I do on the back, because there really is no upside or downside, but I'm going to put this as top. I put a T for top because I want this one to be facing up. Now, if we come in for the next step, we're going to round on the big orb space with trying to keep them even. So I have to turn my tile actually to get a good line. I keep my hand in the same place. I have to turn my tile for some of the curved lines, because sometimes my hand just wants to go wonky. And also I can't see. You know, I want to be able to see where my lines are going. Well, I could do this. So you can learn how your hands and work with the pen. That all comes with practice. And that's really what Inktober Tangles is about. It's about us getting into a daily practice, even if it's just 15 minutes a day, to have our creativity. This would be a high focus, and doing these repetitive lines, one after the other, gives us what we call Zen flow. So take your time, breathe, focus on one line at a time. See, maybe I can get a better line if I come from that way. I got that a little wiggly. I'm a recovering perfectionist, so I really resonate with not perfect Zen. Just do the lines one line at a time. and I try to do my best. Now, okay. Well, there is another step if you are doing a singular, and we aren't in this case, but let me show it to you here, that we go around and create an aura around the entire orb. However, I have them, I did a bunch of them. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to do an aura around the entire design and kind of give it a little bit of a finish. And I'm going to show you one of the techniques that we use in Zentangle method. You see this V right here? I like to have my lines rounded. There's a number of reasons for that, but that also will help to accentuate. So I'm going to give it a little rounding here. Now the next step, after I finish this, is shading. I'm going to come in on the inside of this curve. I'm going to come around. I'm going to give it a little shading over here. There's also inside. This to be like I'm doing I'm laying a little bit of graphite down. Before I blend. Okay, now I'm going to take my blending stump. I'm going to go around here and I'm just going to give it some circular motion so that it gives it some dimension. My camera doesn't show up as well as it is in real life. Do not leave this white. And where this is underneath, I want to make sure it's kind of shaded. And there you have it. There's more. I would now suggest to go to a few other YouTube videos and see how they have incorporated and what they've done. But that is our pattern for today. I hope you have enjoyed it. Now we have a mandala template in the beginner's guide, and many of us are going after we're learning the tangle and we're putting a tangle a day, your choice, into this mandala. And here you can see what I've done for the first 7 days. I also started with an ink wash. Let me correct myself. A watercolor wash, and then I traced the template onto the watercolor paper using a light board and my number 8 micron pen. And what I've done is the first 7 days, I did a video on that. I will be posting that sometimes this week. Next weekend, I will do the next 7 patterns. So I will have a recording of each of the 7 patterns as we start building out this mandala. So you can get your copy. You're in the beginner's guide. That link is in the description. And if this is your first time here, check out the intro video. The link also is in the description, and that will explain the process that we're going. If you are enjoying our tutorials and haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. It helps us reach more folks like yourself. And also, don't forget our live meetup on Sundays. It's a fantastic opportunity to connect and learn together. The details are in the description. You click on the link, it takes you to Eventbrite, and you join through Eventbrite. And for those of you who'd like to show a little extra support, consider visiting our Ko-fi.com tip jar. You can buy me a virtual cup of coffee, and it's greatly appreciated. Well, that's it for today. But I do want to remind you, as I said, I have a beginner series that's starting in November. And so stay tuned to the channel and for that information coming next week. The Beginner's Zentangle 101, Lesson 1, and then I have a 4-part series that follows that. So I'm very excited that you came and stayed to the end of this, and we'll see you on the next video tomorrow.